Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about something that I've had to do here on the homestead, I guess what you'd call it, is animal selection. Winter's coming and I had to sit down and figure, will certain animals pay off keeping them over winter? Like my rabbits, they'll easily pay for themselves because for every bag of feed I give them, I get baby rabbits, plus I get a big bag of rabbit poop to put on my garden. So, they kind of equal out. The chickens, I get eggs, plus I'll put, some chickens in the freezer this fall. The turkeys, same way. I've got 9 grown turkeys and I've got some baby turkeys, and they well paid, along selling baby turkeys for the amount it'll cost to keep them this winter. So, I know that they actually make money and the chickens make money because I've given away and sold a ton of baby chickens and turkeys. Guineas is another thing that I'm gonna keep because they're a good seller here, and there's still people right now wanting to know if I have any baby guineas, and I think 16 eggs left in the incubator, and the guineas have stopped laying. Well, I kept me, I think, 7 little guineas to add to the flock next year because I just couldn't keep up with the demand for guineas. So, like they'll pay for themselves. Well, I like guinea meat. Now, my ducks, I like my ducks. They're them white Peking ducks. As far as an animal, they're cute as they could be. But I don't like the taste of duck. I've tried it, I just don't like it. I don't like duck eggs. They're too way entirely too strong, and I can't find a market for duck eggs. I can't find a market for ducks, like baby ducks or whatever. And if I do, they're gonna it'd be like somebody wants 1 or 2, maybe 3, and they're at around $4 or $5 a piece. Well, if you think about it, they're eating about 2 gallons of feed a day, plus the grass, which I take and get grass and stuff and chop it up and feed it in their feed and stuff like that. So, if I was feeding them 2 gallons of feed a day, and it would cost me more to winter them than what they would return next year, even if I eat them. And now, if I eat them, that'd be different. I just grow them and eat them. But I can't find a recipe that don't make them taste like mud. I tell you, they just taste like a mud to me. And I'm just not excited about them. Hold on, let me see what's wrong with this dog and why she's barking. Okay, she was out of water and fussing about it, so I give her some water. Okay, back to the animals. Like my hogs, I got them late last year and I wintered them where they were little. It didn't cost so much. But this year, it's going to take quite a bit of feed to winter them. Well, I got a male that's a do-rock, and my sow, 2 sows are red wattles, and I believe they might have a little Hampshire or do-rock in them too, but just a little. What I see of the red wattle hogs, they're a lard hog, and it's not a problem, but I do want to breed back more towards a meat hog with a do-rock or something like that when I raise babies. Well, none of them had babies yet, so I don't know which one to keep. So, I'll have to breed them, hold all 3 of them over the spring to figure out which is the better mother, which has more pigs and stuff like that. Or try to just make an educated guess and, put one of them in the freezer, keep one to breed, and that way I'll have my pigs for spring. If anything goes wrong, I got a way to have pigs. Another thing you need to think about is, how are you going to do your feed? How much feed do you think you need if, the crap hits the fan? I'm going to get them IBC totes. I'm going to get one for down here to the hog pen. I think they'll hold a ton of feed. and I'm gonna get one for out here where the chickens and turkeys is, and then I'll have two grow out pens out there where I'll have the guineas and stuff like that in a pen. But I'll have two big grow out pens for next year for growing turkeys and chickens and stuff like that in. But I had to make a decision. I hate to get rid of the ducks. I really do. But on the financial side, I just can't, justify keeping them. And if it was something I eat and like to eat, I could say, okay, I'll raise 40 ducks and put them in the freezer. If somebody knows a recipe for one that gets that taste out of there, that where it tastes like it's mud, let me know. But I've got a little old squirrel dog out here, the buddy of mine gave me, and if you take her up in the woods and turn her loose, she will run tree you a squirrel. But you can't turn her loose. That is the animal killingest critter ever hit the ground. She'll kill every chicken. She'll kill guineas, anything she can get a hold to. But, she will run me a squirrel and she'll tree me a squirrel. So, I just figure I'll keep her tied up until it's time to hunt her. But now I got a Great Pyrenees out here. It's supposed to be a livestock guardian dog. He's got the highest prey drive anything I've ever seen. We've tried him with chickens. We've tried him with everything, and he wipes them out. He kills indiscriminately. If a chicken comes by him, it better come by him in a flying hurry. Well, a buddy of mine took him over to put him with his goats and sheep, and he killed lambs and he killed the little sheep or the whatever a goat is, baby goat, and he killed some sheep. So he's not a guardian dog. Okay, I've got him tied out here in front of the house. I like him. He's a lovable dog. He loves people more than anything. And he'll protect a child with everything in him. If there's a kid around, buddy, he wants to be right there. He walks right ahead of that young'un. You couldn't ask for a better dog. If a coon, now if you got your chickens up where you can't get to them, and a coon or something comes in the yard, they'll have the lick. But you have to keep your chickens up, or you have to tie him up during the day when your chickens are out, then turn him loose at night. But the problem here is he used to go down to my neighbor's house and play with their dog. Well, him being a pup, he carried off shoes and he just got to be in a terrible mess down there. And they told me they didn't want him back down there. Well, once one gets used to going down there and playing, it's hard to, turn him loose. So when I turn him loose at night, he goes straight down there. Then he goes to my brother-in-law's. My brother-in-law don't mind him so bad, but he's not here doing what I need him to do. So I'm trying to find him a home because he eats 2 50-pound bags of dog food a month. He's I forgot what they call him. He's Great Pyrenees and something, I can't remember, something else. But I would not call him a livestock guardian dog. If I could find somebody that had their critters up, and he may stay at somebody else's house if you had him in a fence. But if you want him around like for a kid, oh, he'd be right there, man. But he's not crazy. I mean, he loves anybody. Everybody comes up here, he just wags his tail. He won't even bark when somebody comes up the hill. If he stood out there and barked when somebody come up, that'd be different. But he don't even bark. He just like, ooh, 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 come pet me. Okay. And I cannot break that brute. And I guarantee he's 200 pounds if he hits the ground. And he wants to jump up on you. And he's knocked people down. And me telling them don't go right near him. When next thing you know, he's up on them and down they go. He doesn't mean to hurt them. He's licking them and laying on them and loving on them and stuff. But I can't get him broke from jumping up either. I'm not going to do nothing mean to him. I'm not going to take him somewhere and drop him off because that's, he's my responsibility. I raised him. I just didn't know what I was doing when I went to raise one. And I should have never let him wander around and go to my neighbors and stuff. I should have put him in a fence when he's a pup and broke him to the fence. But I still don't know that would have killed that prey drive in him. I don't know what you've done with that. I know I put a shock collar on him when he was chasing chickens. And, you could put it on him and he would stop as long as that thing was shocking him. But the moment it released, right back in on him he went. It would just stop him long enough for that collar to quit shocking him. And I'd go over and get him and tell him, no, stop, no. And he'd drag you to get him. I mean, he's a brute. But, he showed me that he won't mind. And now if you got him like where he's on a chain, you tell him to sit, he'll sit down. You tell him lay down, he'll lay down. But if he sees a chicken or he sees a guinea, a turkey, or anything else, he ain't listening till he gets it killed. And then he wants to eat it. So, I got to find him a home where they don't have no animals and they just want something that they'll like watch and protect their child and, the family. But if I can't, he'll still be here. If but I need to try to move him on because that's a lot of dog food for that dog to not do what I need him to do. You need to go through and I like to have goats and sheep in the spring. I'm going to put a electric fence inside my fence to help control the pigs and goats and stuff next year. When it cools off right now, it's getting so hot you just can't do it. But I want to put that fence inside and make two sides, one over here and one over here. Let them in there, let them eat that down, put them over here, let them eat that down and move them back. But, like I want winter sheep and goats. I would buy them in the spring, sell them in the fall. I don't eat them, but they would clear up the place. And if the pigs do a good enough job, I may just have the pigs and try to keep maybe one male, one female, plus, if they have babies, the babies be running around. And, I'm telling you, I've seen pigs selling for $100 for a 6-week-old pig and up. So, you do that compared to what it would cost you to feed them. You could make, enough to cover your feed and stuff, and you could actually raise a hog and sell the meat out of it to cover your hog that you're going to eat at those prices. Hog meat's $5 and $6 a pound off the farm. Okay, you take them pigs down there, year old, and they're between 6 and 650 pounds. Time fall comes, they'll both be pushing 700 pounds. Well, you take a 700 pound hog, or produce 400 pounds of meat. $5 a pound, that's $2,000. That buys a lot of chop. So, I can justify the hogs, and I like to eat hog meat. My blood pressure lets me know it too. But I try to manage how much I eat of it. My back is still hurting. I can't get comfortable. But, when you're on your homestead or you're doing, inventory for, if the crap hits the fan, remember, you got to feed these critters if that hits. So there's the company I buy mine from has something called Yard Mix. It's Mid-Mountain Feed and Seed in Pennington Gap, Virginia. They have this stuff called Yard Mix, and it's got everything under the sun in it, from sunflower seeds to laying mash, and it's supposed to be good for everything. That's what I feed my chickens and turkeys, and man, they do like it. So I'm gonna get me one of them IBC totes, put it out here where my chickens and stuff is, and I'm gonna get as much as that IBC total full, and then I will do chop for the hogs down there, and that way I know I have enough to do a pretty good while. Now, if the crap hits the fan, I may be letting them out, letting them run loose, and trying to keep the hogs in the electric fence and stuff like that, and maybe even the chickens and stuff. But remember, you got to feed these things, and it's not cheap. The rabbits, I would love to do a rabbit colony if I had a couple of them dog lots, where they're, what are they, 10 by 10, 6 foot tall. Dig you a ditch, drop that thing down in the ground about a foot, make it 5 foot tall, make it to where the rabbits couldn't get out, and have them where they can run around in there, and have them a building that they can run in and hide and stuff like that. I'd like to do that, and that way, you don't have to worry about, my male, or one of my females just don't like my male rabbit at all. But she just don't like him. And, if they was more out running around, she might decide that, okay, that's the only male in the pen. And, decide to do something with him. And You know, you could have rabbits year round if you had them a good warm place to have them. But you know, that was my thought on the day was, you know, we need to pick our livestock compared to what you like to eat. Like, if you're not a turkey fan, why would you grow turkeys? You know, if you don't like thought of, you know, processing rabbits, why would you grow rabbits? But I know with my chickens, see, I keep sawdust in their roost pen at night or their chicken house. And in the spring of the year, I go through well, twice a year, spring and fall, I'd go through there and dig that out. Then I sling it all over where my garden and stuff's going to be, and I get the manure out of that, you know. Plus, I get the rabbit manure, and I like the guineas because, boy, if something comes up, uh, I thought about seeing if I could trade the ducks to geese, just so that eat people up. If somebody started up there, the geese would get after you. Don't know. I don't know. Might not be a good investment on that either. But you know, I want to get down. I'm looking more towards winter. Deer season, everything's coming up, and I don't want to have, you know, 2 days worth of chores every day, and it be coming up deer season. And I'm trying to cut down on the feed bill for winter. But you know, look at your animals, and you know, like I love those little ducks. Them things that you can come out there and they'll just run around you, and they don't act real wild unless somebody. Now they don't act wild with me if I'm by myself. If somebody else comes out there, they run up in that pen and hide. So it would take time for them to get used to other people. But the money's just not there, and I can't afford to keep feeding them and the money not being there. So, you know, I'm going to look to try to sell them or move them on. But I'm going to make sure they go to a good home. Lord, I wish somebody had a pond. I'd love to see them go where there's a good pond and, you know, they could be comfortable. And I've got them kiddie swimming pools out there, and they absolutely love them kiddie swimming pools. Well, I guess that's enough on that today. I just wanted to touch base on that. So, you know, it was something I thought about that, you know, what happens if the crap hits the fan and I have to feed all these animals and the feed ain't out there to get? I'll have to grow corn and stuff to feed them. And, you know, you have to have some kind of hay or grass to, you know, add to their feed. And like during the summer, you know, you just go out there and chop grass up, add to their feed, they'd eat it, and that'd save you money. Or you could turn them loose and let them just run around find bug stuff. But in the winter, you have to have grain, at least something to feed them. Well, you know, just give it a thought, look through your livestock, and see if there is something that maybe you need to, you know, kind of move out. And if you know somebody close that wants a Great Pyrenees, that just you don't want no animals. I'm just telling you. He loves other dogs. He does not have a problem with other dogs. He don't like cats. He don't like any kind of animal but a dog. But he loves people, and he is the most child protected dog I've ever seen in my life. If you got a child, he's gonna walk right beside it, and there'll be nothing get to it. I'll tell you that. Well, I'm gonna end the video. Y'all have a good day. Have a blessed day. Be good to each other, and we'll see you on the next video.